Hi, everyone, and welcome to the best and worst of March 2017, the March edition of that. And looking over the movies I saw this month, or March, I ran into a slight conundrum. Would you like to know what that conundrum is? Well, that conundrum is I didn't see any movie that I thought was bad this month. Now, there are movies that are worse than others, but I didn't actually see any movie that was bad. So I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I saw 6 movies this month. Now, of the 6 movies, what movie do I think was the best? Well, for me, the best was actually a hands down no contest. Logan, I thought, was the best movie of March 2017. The storytelling, the tone, the style, the fruition of this character that Hugh Jackman has made so iconic. Everything had what just came together in such a spectacularly moving way that I can't think of any real negative I had against it. I think I gave the movie a 9 out of 10. Hindsight, maybe I could give it a 10, but I'd still stick with the 9 out of 10. No movie this month, despite the fact that I liked actually all the movies I saw this month, really came close enough to topple Logan. But who would I say gets the runner-up spots? Honestly, yeah, why not just go my top 6 instead of the worst? Well, in the number 7 or number 2 spot, that probably would go to actually Beauty and the Beast. Though I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island, I'd probably put that as my number 3. Beauty and the Beast did a really good job at recapturing the feel of a Disney classic. Now, I know there's a lot of people didn't like it. I know Doug Walker hated it. But, he's one of those guys who just, what's the point of remaking them live action? We already got the movies up. And I get that argument to a degree. But, sometimes, give it a break. Some people want to see something like actual people on screen as opposed to animated characters. Even though, yes, I know the Beast is CGI, Lumiere, all that. But no, the way they handled that story, I just thought was really well done. The parts they added to make it unique and different, like making LeFou gay, I thought actually worked for the storytelling aspect of it. His character had a very interesting arc to go with it. We learned more about Belle's family backstory. That Kevin Kline was really good. I thought Gaston was great. Luke Evans. Again, Josh Gaz LeFou was amazing. Emma Watson did really, really well as Belle. That being said, I actually do agree with the... Having heard her sing a second time, again, and this comes from the Nostalgia Critic, when he talked about singers being dubbed, that she did not sound bad. She was not a bad singer, and it still works in the context of the movie. But you are going to compare her to the original, and when doing that, she does sound like she's just reading she's singing it very nicely, but it sounds like she's just reading it off a script. She's not putting a lot of that. Oomph isn't the right word. She's not putting a lot of spirit, I guess, is the is that because like no, not that one. Like Something There song was actually a one they used that was a perfect set. Like you in the animated movie, you could actually hear her like kind of coming to this marvelous realization about the Beast. Like he was kind of, there's something there I must ignore, and all that stuff. And then, oh, it's a bit alarming. And you actually see her in the movie, actually, wow, I think I'm having feelings for this thing. Oh my God. It's like, oh, he's so good. And she sees him playing with the birds. Like, it's like, but in the movie, in the live action movie, she's just singing about that in the library. And she's not like shocked by coming to terms with anything. It's more just, she's saying. So after having looked at it again, I'm like, no, it doesn't decrease my rating for the movie. It's just something that I actually kind of noticed after re-listening to it and re-noticing things. I'm like, no, actually, that is a valid point. Yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. Enough to make it my second favorite of March. Kong came in number 3. Kong was just a good time. And it was a good old-fashioned monster movie brawl, and I loved every minute of it. I love the soundtrack. I love watching Kong beat shit up. The movie's doing well. The movie has done well enough and still making some money that it can warrant the continuation of the universe. Instead, it stands at, last I checked, probably like $478 or $9 million. This weekend, it's going to cross the $500 million mark, so it'll do well enough to earn a sequel or earn a continuation of the universe. So good for Kong. There's not much I can say about that. Now we get into the bottom three. And again, I didn't hate any of these movies. But these were the three lesser movies from the other three I saw this year. Or this month. At number three, or at number four, I will give it to Power Rangers. Power Rangers is my fourth favorite this year. I actually saw it again with Mark and a friend of ours, Ian, who just got back here. They hadn't seen it, and they actually really enjoyed it too. And I thought it was a really good retelling of the Power Rangers. They were shocking teenagers with attitude. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that right now. Yeah, shockingly, they were teenagers with attitude. And I thought the redesigns of the Ranger suits were good. The sword fight was great. Rita, Elizabeth Banks chewed up scenery. There are some plot points that don't get explained though, and some of the music choices were I didn't need the R. Kelly. And having stayed long enough through the trailers the second time, they actually used the Power Rangers theme. They had an updated version of the How hard is that to put in the movie? My God, we only had the Go Power Rangers once for about 10 seconds, yet you put the actual theme song at the credits? What is wrong with you? You could have put it, screw the R. Kelly theme, you could have put that with that fight, and everyone would have been fucking flipped. I'm sorry, but yeah, it pissed me off a little bit, honestly. I'm like, the fuck? Like, if that song wasn't, like, the redone version of the song wasn't there, that would have been one thing. But it was there in the credits. That kind of annoyed me a little bit. Number two, I think my fifth favorite, or second to least favorite, I guess you could put it, probably would have been Life. I mean, it wasn't a bad science fiction movie, but it was immensely predictable what the ending was going to be. Like, they spoiled things in the promotional. Like, this isn't some of the promotional. If you haven't seen it, sorry, but it is in the promotional, so it's technically not a spoiler. Ryan Reynolds, the thing goes inside Ryan Reynolds' mouth when it's really small. You can guess what happens. I'm not going to say what happens, but you can guess what happens. Without really spoiling, it doesn't go well. But things like that got spoiled. But I thought the creature's design was fine. But the ending was extremely predictable. They were telegraphing what was going to happen. And it was all right. The acting was good, but I mean, it wasn't anything super impressive, nothing groundbreaking. Ghost in the Shell probably actually comes in at my least favorite movie of March 2017. Now, Mark's going to be shocked by that. But again, I want to preface this by saying I didn't hate any of the movies this month. And Mark gave it a 10 out of 10. I'm like, okay, I mean, I know you were actually a much bigger fan of the manga than me, and the animated movie and stuff like that, or series. I mean, I had a passing knowledge about it, a little above average knowledge about it. So I was like, for that, I still had some issues with it, but I thought the characters were fine. I thought Scarlett Johansson, they addressed the whitewashing thing, and I'm getting sick and tired of the whole. I'm actually getting kind of annoyed with the whole whitewashing thing. Look, I know it is important to give actors of all ethnicities roles that suit them. Absolutely. Apparently Mark says that it implies she's Korean, but it's never fully stated that she's Korean in the actual story. But Scarlett Johansson looked like the character well enough, and they do address it in the movie. Yeah, they address that completely in the movie, why she is actually looks like a Caucasian woman. But the thing about whitewashing is, we're the only. I mean, maybe people in Europe also, or maybe white people. White people. No, okay, that's not fair either. But here, like in Japan, no one was complaining about the whitewashing. They were just like, no, she looks like the character. That's cool. They weren't complaining. Why are we complaining? I get it. We are, and I'm going on a complete tangent right now, but we are a culture that is a white-dominated society as of right now. And because of that, we have a lot of there's a lot of racism that existed and still exists. Let's not mince words. Racism does still exist. It's been getting better, but unfortunately, with the past year or so, it's kind of been in a regression. But racial sensitivity, racial tolerance, racism, and all that's existed before that. So there's a stigma that comes from white culture, and that also goes into Hollywood too. So people of different ethnicities, different colors have had trouble branching out and back in the day, and even in more recent times. But it's been getting better, and it's been getting better and better. For what it is, it still exists. I'm not going to say it doesn't still exist. I won't say that, but would I have been happy to see an Asian actress take up the role? Absolutely. I would have been completely for that. I think a lot of people would have been happy also. But I didn't care Scarlett Johansson was cast. What are you growling at, puppy? What's wrong? I'm going to have to cut this short. She's getting ornery. Hey, Pup, what's wrong? But anyway, so I didn't see a real problem with it. She's a box office draw still. Granted, the movie's not doing very well at the moment. We'll have to see when the foreign markets really come in. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, who wants to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Any ideas for who would win? Star Wars, what if, superhero magic? Put those in the comments below too. I'll get to them at some point. I'll add them to the list. Get to them. Pop. Hi, Pop. Come again, Pop. Oh, Pop. And I'll be back in a little bit with Star Wars. I have to decide what the topic is, but I'll get back in a little bit with Star Wars. So, thank you, and